Hello and welcome wherever you may be. Welcome to the fairest Cape, Cape Town. It's the second day of this second test match between South Africa and England. And it comes to you live from Newlands. That's a look at the scorecard, 262 for 9. And the annoying thing for the England side is that many of them got starts, their batsmen, and couldn't go on a pitch that looked pretty good. Ollie Pope, though, looked very good and certainly is one for the future. With the bowlers, really good, disciplined approach from South Africa, executing the plan of staying outside off stump. Vernon Philander 2 for 46, Rabada 2 for 63, 2 for Pretorius and 1 for Maharaj. But so impressive with the pace as well was Anrich Nokia, who also picked up a couple of wickets. A huddle, final instructions. Last push to get the final wicket for the South Africans and finish things off and get on batting. Gone, finally. The last one falls. It's Anderson who nicks one to first slip. And England are all out for 269.
Relief for Rassie van der Dussen, who's put a few down in this test series. There was no flying de Kock in front of him on that occasion, so that one nestles safely into the hands, and South Africa's bowlers can reflect on a job that is pretty well done.
A huge day also for Peter Malan, who walks out on his home ground to start things up in test match cricket at the age of 30. He's away with a 4. Short and wide and cut away by Peter Malan. Oh, look at that smile. There you go, on the board in test match cricket. Beautiful shot. Just punched down the ground by Dean Elgar, and he picks up 4. More runs. 4 more. 17 without loss.
That's out. Yep, sure is.
South Africa got off to a decent start, 26 without loss. They're now 1 down, and England have their first. Malan on debut goes for 5.
He won't mind it there. That's the sort of thing that Dean Elgar just feeds off. That's a chase and give it up. That's 4. Good start from Elgar. Not good from Curran to start.
There it's at Broad, and it's beautifully played from Hamza. A chase on.
Good boundary from Hamza. Positive stuff. That's the way he likes to play. There's an edge and a very good catch, Stokes. What a good catch that is. He's got great hands. Broad again. 2 big wickets. What an honour. There he is, Khaleesi. Of course, the winning World Cup captain. Great to see him at the cricket. He's really good mates with Faf du Plessis. He's been spotted on the big screen. Not sure what the England spectators are saying, but the South Africans are certainly cheering. Oh, there's an edge, and he's got it again. Stokes. Stokes has taken another catch. So again, the slip squad is performing beautifully for England. Captain's gone now. Catch! That's gone through. And has gone for 4. Big dive in the cover region from Pope.
Oh, just past the diving Stokes. He's already taken a couple. This went quickly. There is a gap between Stokes at the 2nd slip position, and they've got a 4th slip, and this has flown through the gap. Inside edge, I think. No, the finger goes up. Anderson has him. Van der Dussen will have a chat with Dean Elgar here. I thought I heard 2 sounds. The umpire didn't. If he didn't hit it, it looked pretty straight.
there too. Yeah, inside edge. There's actually 3 sounds. Inside edge onto the front pad and then the back pad.
The value of DRS, that would have been a cruel end to van der Dussen's innings given the size of the inside edge, but he's still there, rightly so. Van der Dussen survives along with Elgar, who's played really well for 35. Van der Dussen has just got into double figures, but it's been England's morning. Finally bowled out for 269. They have 3 South African top order wickets this morning, and they'll be looking forward to the afternoon session.
Punch down the ground, solid stuff, really nicely played by De Nilga. That is a fine, fine shot.
It's much down to final leg. Is it going to go to boundary? Yes, it is. Valiant effort.
That's a fine stroke. That is a beautiful drive from Van der Dussen.
That's a beautiful shot. We saw 2 examples of this from his 50 that he accumulated at Supersport Park, and that's the fine margins for the bowlers.
There's the single, by the way, to pick up 50 for De Nilga. Good stuff for De Nilga. 14th 50. Quite a good bloke to have at the top of the order. A nuggety opening batsman. Always does a fine, gutsy job for his team, for South Africa. Very valuable player.
Trying to employ tactics-wise.
Oh, that's a beauty. That has done something off a crack, there's no doubt. Keep that one out if you can, Rassie van der Dussen. That has taken off, and another wicket has gone down.
Okay, check it for a no ball now. Let's have a look at this. Is Broad okay? Generally okay. It's a big no ball. It's a monster no ball. The celebration stopped. Quinton de Kock, he sits back down. Rassie van der Dussen gets a life.
Driven beautifully. He's played 2 or 3 of those now. One off Curran and one off a loosener from Stokes. Found the gap, timed it perfectly.
Oh, shot. Oh, beautiful. Just a touch too full. And that's a good stride into the off drive by Rassie van der Dussen. 4 runs.
Did that carry. It was a valiant effort there by Ben Stokes. He launched himself forward, which is very difficult to do. Had his hands, fingers pointing down, trying to grab hold of it. The elbow hits, I think it pops out, but a really good effort.
That's really good work.
It takes the partnership to 98. That's nicely played.
There's the one, which brings up the 100 partnership. Really good stuff between these two.
Yeah, fine fighting effort by Van der Dussen and Elgar. The first 100 partnership of the series so far. 9 fours involved. They get together, punch off the gloves.
The double bluff to finish the over. And Paul Rifle says time for tea. So De Nilga has done a brilliant job, and Van der Dussen has been superb at all, but De Nilga can be really pleased with what he's done so far.
Oh, I'm afraid frustrating for Broad.
Rassie van der Dussen goes to his half-century.
Brave old effort by Rassie van der Dussen. It really is. It's not as pretty as 50, I'm sure, but it doesn't matter. You can get them ugly and make yourself a hero.
That boundary also puts the 150 on the board.
Cries of catch, and he sliced that a bit. This might be taken. It's Root underneath it, and he does take the catch. He does really well. Bess has picked up a wicket. He's toiled hard. He's picked up a wicket. The celebrations with Bess, also with Joe Root. Root made really good ground, getting back quickly with his eye on the ball. That was good stuff from the skipper. That's away. Nicely played. Really good work from Van der Dussen.
Oh, straight up. straight up in the air. Catch is taken. It's Curran who gets Quinton de Kock.
That's a super catch. He really is a cricketer. So Ben Stokes helps out Sam Curran, who is also a cricketer. He does it time after time again, does Curran. Finds something where others can't. Oh, a little top edge, and they'll run away with overspin those.
Good guess, though.
For once, they're not getting it up there with a bit of flight. Anyway, a good boundary. 207 for 6. 6 balls until that new ball.
You see the new ball being taken now. We'll wait and see who takes it. Jimmy Anderson is now walking over to Kumar Dharmasena.
Straight on the mark and doesn't quite carry to Ben Stokes. Wow, how close can they get, they must be thinking. They keep creeping closer and closer. He's caught that one, though. Oh, it's a corker. What a catch. What a strike with the new nut.
There's a second shout, and up goes the finger. So he's done the business. Anderson.
Yeah, good delivery from Jimmy Anderson. 2 noises. Inside edge onto pad, pops up in the air, and that'll bring a close to play on here on day 2. A perfect end for England. It really has been a fantastic last session from them. They had to struggle before the tea break, but after they've come back, they've had lots of success, and they've put themselves in a very, very strong position in this test match.
He's got a mic, I hope. Yes, he has, behind his back. He kept that quiet. Firstly, well played, because it was a long, hard contest.
Yeah, it was some tough test cricket out there against a good English bowling attack. I felt we just let a lot of hard work slip in the last session. I felt going into tea we were in an awesome position. Yeah, and I must say maybe the pressure got to us a little bit. But yet again, that's the challenge we face playing test cricket. And yeah, the English bowlers were having the second new ball around was always going to make inroads if we had new batters in.
Looking at the surface from afar, it looks easier for a left-hander than a right-hander, given where that crack is bowling from this Weinberg end of the ground.
It does look a little bit more challenging for the right-handers. I mean, with that crack in the divots, that's obviously formed over the last 2 days. It's challenging for them. So yeah, we need to fight it through in the second innings. I don't think it's going to get any easier for us. I mean, it's wickets in South Africa do deteriorate, and yeah, we need to have new game plans going into our second innings.
I dread to have to say this to you, but it was an unusual dismissal from you. I mean, it's not really your style, is it?
Extremely crap for my part. There's no other word to use. Well, there are others, but I can't use them on TV. Yeah, it's most probably just the execution. I chose the wrong ball. You find before that I hit the one ball that's a little bit straighter for 4, and then it's a good shot. And I just most probably picked the wrong ball. And
you mean because it was a little wider and it brought the rough into play?
A touch wider, maybe a touch slower, maybe just clipped the rough a little bit. But yeah, it's a very, very poor shot after I had built on a very good partnership with Rassie. I'm very disappointed by the end result there, knowing that I could have really gone massive in this innings, and yeah.
You're disappointed with your own performance in getting out there, Dean, but I think the challenge for the South Africans with Bess going to be operating ball 27 overs, was there any talk? I mean, it's difficult for a left-hander with the rough in play maybe to take them on, but wasn't there any talk in the team about him being a youngster, just his 3rd game, that you somehow need to try and apply some more pressure onto him, not to allow him to bowl to you guys, because he was always going to try and hold an end?
Well, I think because the wicket was playing nicer than what you might have been alluding to, but we didn't feel potentially we had to put in any pressure. I felt we were scoring freely, more easier off the seamers if they missed their mark. You find a guy like Rassie really absorbed a lot of pressure, which you have to do at times, and I was maybe a little bit more free scoring off the seamers. But no, I didn't see us have to do anything unusual against Bess. I played against him with him at Somerset, and I know he's a good spinner. Doesn't miss his mark too often. So yeah, it's a tough old battle was Test cricket today for us, and like I mentioned, going into tea time, we really would have been smiling.
And the contrast between the new ball and the older ball, does it get any easier?
I think if you've got new batters in, it's always going to be a challenge. We saw yesterday, even with the second new ball we had in, their batters they were quite fresh and obviously a little bit more down the order. They're not as equipped as the top order batters. It was always going to be a challenge for the new batsmen going in. Look, if I was maybe in or Rassie was maybe in still with the second new ball, it might have been a different outcome for us. The bowlers might have missed their mark a little bit more, been a bit more under pressure if you have a few batters in. But we never had that luxury. I mean, I went out and Rassie went out, and basically we just handed the pressure over to them in like the last hour.
Sorry to labour the point, Dean, but I didn't see any of the South African batsmen actually using their feet. You know, the ball was merely turning. He was hitting his spots, yes, because I even commented on that. He has excellent control. But even to just use your feet a bit to try and put him off that length that he was so constantly on.
Well, I guess that's something we're going to have to look into, Mikey. I didn't feel at that point that we actually needed to do too much different. We really wanted to just grind it out and really put some time in the English bowlers' legs. We know it's hot here, and if they come in and they need 7-6 wickets tomorrow, it's going to be a hard graft for them. But such as Test cricket works out, we're in a lot different a position, and most probably the English are smiling after the last session.
Just one further point. In the first Test match, Super Sport, the team in the field, when they weren't taking wickets, they still managed to keep themselves in the game by keeping control. That is why I was thinking it's a similar situation here. You don't want to keep England in the game if you lose a couple of quick wickets. So that's why I was thinking perhaps taking on Dom Bess a little bit more, using your feet a little bit more.
Well, as I mentioned, we can get into an argument here if you want. I'm going to defend our guys until we have a positive outcome, and hopefully it happens in our second innings, where we might have to knock some runs over.
All right, I'd like to finish with one point. You're clearly down, you know, unhappy with your
disappointed.
Own. Yeah, and presumably the dressing room isn't at that level. I mean, it was a difficult last hour. Where England have grabbed a bit of control, but the dressing room needs to be up overnight. Huh?
No doubt. We just had a good chatting to from Bouch, and I mean, we can't come here licking our wounds. We got to bring the South African spirit back in tomorrow, and I'm pretty sure the guys are going to wake up after a good night's rest, and we're going to come out fighting. Our bowling unit at the moment, I mean, we click in well as a bowling unit, and on a wicket that's offering quite a lot of assistance from the one end, anything can happen for us. But we know we're not going to lick our wins for too long. We got to come out fighting tomorrow.
Great, that's the way to finish an interview. Thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it, Dino.
Thanks a lot.
You can sneak away. I'll hang on.
I haven't got any more questions, Dean.
Awesome! Absolutely brilliant!